Hi friends, Mrs. Clark here. Today we are going to be talking about one out of the four basic breathing techniques used in conscious discipline. If you want more information on this, you can go to consciousdiscipline.com. Dr. Becky Bailey created this basic four core calming activities for kiddos. And you're definitely going to need to use the brain drain after I read this story, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Because when I'm reading this, you are probably going to want to use the drain. Use your brain and use the drain. So when you feel frustrated or stressed or angry, remember, friends, if you feel like this, right? Or if you feel like this, you're going to want to breathe, right? We're going to want to pick a breathing technique to calm us down, right? We could use the dandelion breathing, but today I'm going to teach you how to use the drain. And remember, we already went over the balloon and we already went over the star, and now we're going to use the drain. I'll show you an example of it before we read the story and then after we read the story. But if you are feeling like Alexander and you need to use the drain breathing during the story, you can. So you'll know how to do it. Okay. So it's really easy. It's basic, okay? So I'm going to try and hold this up and then show you with my right arm. You're going to extend your arms out, pretending your arms are faucets, and you're going to tighten your arm, your shoulder, and your face muscles. So watch me. And I'm going to breathe in, okay? And then I'm going to exhale slowly. Shh. Making the shh sound and releasing all your muscles, draining out the stress. So you get it? It's the drain. You're going to drain all the stress out of your body. So watch the stress in my body just drain out. Ready? Let's try it again. Breathe in and then out. Okay? All right, so you can do that while you're reading the story, or if you're having a difficult, frustrating day. You might be fighting with your brother or your sister today, or a friend, right? Or a friend in daycare. Or maybe someone asked you to do something that makes you feel like this, right? And you really just need to release that stress, right? So here I go. I'm going to read you this book, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And he definitely doesn't know about the drain. I wish that he did. But as you can see, he is not having a good day. In fact, he's having a horrible, no good, very bad day. And this book was written by a lady named Judith Viorst. And the pictures, the illustrator, is Ray Cruz. Let's start. Oh my goodness. Look at him. He's out of bed, right? But his face still looks the same. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Oh, goodness. At breakfast, Anthony, I don't know who Anthony is, but my guess is a brother, found a Corvette Stingray. A Corvette Stingray? Do you know what that is? It's like a little matchbox car that was created long ago, back in the 1950s and the 1960s. And way back then, I don't even know if they still do it, you would have toys in your cereal. So it looks like one of his brothers found a super cool toy in their cereal. And it was in his breakfast cereal. And Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring. An undercover agent is like someone who kind of spies on other countries to find out information. So he found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal. But in my breakfast cereal, all I found was breakfast cereal. I'm going to show you this picture. This book is very old, friends, so it is well loved. You'll see some rips and some tears. In fact, I don't know if you can see this right here, but the whole base right here is coming apart. But all the very best books, let me tell you, are well loved, and that's why it maybe has some rips and tears. I don't think anyone was doing it on purpose. I think it's just an old book, and I think it was just well loved. So I think I'll move to Australia, he said. He's going to move to another country, right? Another country off of the Eastern Hemisphere, right? In Australia, they talk differently, but it's far, far away. And he wants to move far, far away, apparently. In the carpool, so the carpool is when a lot of people ride together. They're going to the same place. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. And I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be carsick. And no one even answered. Friends, did you hear him say scrunched and smushed? That means he was squeezed in there too tight, right? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Nothing seems to be going right for Alexander. Do you ever have one of those days, friends, where it just seems like nothing is going right? Well, I hope today is the opposite. I hope today for you, everything is going right. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. He drew an invisible castle. That means you can't even see it. It was invisible. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Only at 16. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Oh, Alexander. I'm so sorry, Alexander. I wish you well. I wish you were not having a horrible day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. And he said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off of the cone part and lands in Australia. Remember, friends, another country. Far, far away. Well, far, far away from the United States, at least. And that's where we are right now. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had a little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in the dessert? Oh no, I know when I send my little girl Leah's lunch to school, I usually do not put a dessert in it, but I do let her get dessert on Fridays. So I wonder if she feels like Alexander sometimes. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was. Because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I am going to Australia. Hey, friends, what is a cavity? Well, a cavity is when you have a boo-boo in your tooth and it needs to be fixed and filled, and sometimes it hurts. Oh, have you ever had a boo-boo in your mouth before? I have. It can hurt. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said, I was a crybaby. Has anyone ever called you a crybaby? It's not very nice, is it? Next time someone calls you a crybaby, you say, did you say that to be helpful or hurtful? It is hurtful to call someone a crybaby. He is definitely not having a good day. Well, I was punching Nick for saying crybaby. My mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and for fighting. Well, it's Mom's job to scold, isn't it? Do you know why he was scolded? Do you know what scolded means? It means she was very upset and she probably yelled and she didn't like it. Right? Got in trouble. That's what scolded means. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody and nobody answered. So when we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers, Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes and Nick chose red ones with white stripes and I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. Friends, do you know what it means to be sold out? It means that they don't have any left. They do not have any. Right? Everyone bought that one up. So these two got what they wanted, and he didn't. Alexander. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as I could be except for my elbow. And he said, don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Have your parents ever looked like that? Or your grandparents? Or the adults you live with? There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. Oh no, lima beans, friends? They're like veggies, right? We cook them like veggies. And they're green. And I know some of my friends out there struggle with those green veggies. They're called lima beans. They were for dinner, and he doesn't like them. Oh, see, there's the rip in the book. I'll have to fix that. I'll put some tape on it after we read the story. Like I told you, this book is well loved. It's super popular. My bath was too hot and I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. Oh my goodness. If he's using the word hate, wow, he is not having a good day. When I went to bed, Nick took me back the pillow. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. You ever bit your tongue before while you're eating, maybe? Oh, it hurts. Ouch. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony and not me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Do you know what? My mom says there are days like that. Even in Australia. The end. Wow. So I think maybe at the end of the story, you feel frustrated for Alexander too, right? Don't you want to just tell him about the drain? Don't you just want to tell him about calming down and breathing, and maybe he would have had a better day? So friends, we're going to do the brain. We're going to use our brain and do the drain one more time. Okay, here we go. We're going to extend our arms out, pretending your arms are faucets, and you're going to tighten your arm and your shoulder and your face. Mine looks like this. And you're going to breathe in, and then you're going to exhale slowly. Sound, releasing all your muscles and draining out all the stress, right? Because his mom is right. Alexander's mom said, let me read it to you. And mom says, some days are like that, right? Not all days are full of sunshine and smiles, right? We do have horrible, no good, very bad days. And I wish you well. I hope that you are having a great day. But if you're having a horrible day like Alexander, you know what to do, right? And we've talked about the safe spot so many times. Not only do you know what to do, but you know where to go. So I am so excited for you to use that brain and to do the drain. Okay, friends, until next time, see you later, alligators.